Chase, I came home from a shoot after my Loretta shoot, and Lowe's has this beef jerky, okay? It's called Robertson's. It's like $60 for this
I know.
dude.
Yeah, go ahead and slack me
But
a
it's
piece
literally the best beef jerky on earth. Lowe's, if you want to sponsor us.
I love beef jerky.
I love beef jerky. That's all we need. Hey, on this episode, we're calling in Daniel Blair, coming up right now in a minute.
While I chew loudly.
I guess it doesn't, if right now in a minute doesn't make sense.
No.
Right now in a minute.
Thanks for calling in, Daniel.
Should we make people watch us eat beef jerky?
They love us hearing us. Yeah. Been a while since we've been on this. A lot of technical difficulties.
I miss this, buddy.
We lost a gypsy.
We did.
So surprisingly, I thought he'd just be in my backyard. We lost a crane. Back to the OGs, the people that keep it real on the most consistent broadcast. The first episode in what, 3 weeks, 4 weeks?
But consistency doesn't matter as long as we're doing other
Correct.
podcasts, right?
Yeah.
Winners Take Y'all kept going.
Oh, boy, Squad Pod.
Radio Fox from Loretta Lynn's. I mean, how many things can I do in one day?
I think our downloads are up to like 20 a day.
Give people a real number, like 75?
Like 76.
Hell yeah.
You know what though? Hey, look at that. Look at that behind us, dude. If you're watching on the broadcast, which you should be, we got some Vurb Classic footage, which we'll get to.
Yeah, Verb Classic coming up 15th through 17th of September, right?
Yeah. It's like a month.
NxtLvl101. Speaking of Daniel Blair, he's part of NxtLvl101 now, so we're not only going to be talking to him about who's going pro this weekend underneath
Lots
his
of big
wing,
names.
but he's also part of the Verb Classic now, so we get to get all kinds of information from Daniel.
I'm excited to talk to Daniel. Daniel, if you guys don't listen to his podcast, or whenever he's on with Steve, or Race Day Live, like Daniel to me is like, he's like Weege, man. He's a asset to this sport. Like he's smart. He's talented.
Way smarter than us. Talks
way smarter than us.
Let's throw Crane his first to Barrett. Like now, instead of like VRB013 Podcast Network back there, it's going from Gypsy Tales.
Jesus Christ.
We'll let it roll though. We'll let it roll.
Hey, free advertising for Gypsy.
He's out there somewhere thinking of us. We're out here thinking of you, Gypsy.
Hey, the Gypsy survived Loretta's.
Yeah, speaking of Gypsy, we brought him to Loretta's last second. We did a podcast here. He planned on going to California, and we said, I was like, Jace, you're in America during Loretta's, and you're with me.
Oh, you gotta go.
You have to go. So last second, he bought a plane ticket. Speaking of, this is my 24th credential.
Wow. That's
actually, no, I'm lying. It's my 20th credential.
I did see on.
I've been 24 years. I've shot for 20 now.
I've
number 58.
I saw on one of the vlogs, Kevin Kelly, host of Winners Take Y'all, also on the Verb, had been every year
since '93.
No. He said every year.
Nope.
Okay.
He hasn't been since 1982.
I don't know. Kevin's old.
He said he was 93.
Kevin's old, dude. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm the one that found that out in the blog. I was sitting there talking to him, and I was like, really, I was like, dude, I thought 24 years consecutive was like a huge number.
That's up there with Davey.
And Davey's never missed a year.
Well, no, Davey's never missed a year. I know that.
But Kevin's at like 36 or something.
Wow.
Unreal. I think Brad Gebhardt did the math for me, and it's like 1.2% of my life, if you count the weeks that I've been to Loretta's, has been spent. I don't know how that works out. I think 1.2% seems high, but hey, it sounds cool.
The first timers,
it sounds cool.
The first timers basically almost didn't make it out of their first year.
Well,
R.I.P. Casey, R.I.P. Brad.
Yeah, we had some in Gypsy. We had some what do you call it in the when you pledge?
Frat hazing.
It was like a haze week for the boys. They survived what I call Navy SEAL boot camp week. Like it takes a special person. And leaving on Sunday, we made Casey throw up. Finally.
Nice. Well, it's funny, dude. Like I didn't have FOMO the entire time because it was raining. It looked hot. I was like,
it was still a good time. You know that.
No, I know. Believe me, I did. But I had a little bit of FOMO.
Yeah.
I started getting pictures Sunday morning. Oh my God. FOMO through the roof, bro.
Well, if everybody's been living under a rock, we did bring back Radio Fox, which was the first iconic podcast ever that was broadcast at the ranch over the PA system with David Bernardo, and whoever the heck they were able to call in on their Rolodex back then. So Davey mentioned at the beginning, before the week, that he found the Radio Fox tapes. So check this out. This is an actual tape from 94 rather. And it was only, he knew he had them. We've been talking about it for almost a year.
Yeah.
He finally found them the week before Loretta's. I ordered up this tape player, and we were able to get some really cool audio. So did you listen to our Radio Fox shows?
Yeah, I did. I watched them.
Yes.
I watched them. They were great. Yes. The only one I missed was I haven't gotten to is the Pete Fox one.
Okay, well, it's really dang cool.
I know. That's the one I was kind of saving.
He was hyped that we're going to bring it back.
Oh, is he? Nice,
so,
dude.
One thing we didn't do, though, is I never played any of these tapes in the show.
That's the only thing you could hear at the beginning.
Well,
in the
beginning,
intro.
we put it in the intro.
Yeah, but nobody knew what that was. So, like, I want to hear these.
All right.
Maybe it's like over the course of the next couple of weeks.
I'm going to play one little excerpt here, all right? Okay. This is when they call in Jeremy McGrath, which is actually the spot that we used in the intro, but I want you guys to actually hear.
So give people a timeline. Like, how old was Jeremy? Was Jeremy pro at this point?
Yeah, 1994. He would have been...
Probably won in Supercross. I don't know.
It was right before Washougal. I think he talks about it. So yeah, I mean, he'd already clinched some wins, and he was the king of the knack-knack. So yeah, here's Jerry Bernardo, Davey Coombs, Jeremy McGrath. Let's listen.
Hey Davey, let's go right into a phone call, man.
Straight to the phone call.
We got an abbreviated show tonight, so we got to go up there for some fashion.
And so remember this went to everybody.
Special welcome to Terry.
Terry,
nice to see you back
over
at the
PA,
ranch.
right?
Jesus, where you been hanging out?
Got an incredible dial tone going.
So they're literally calling him on a speakerphone. We asked how they did this. They had an audio set up
Fact, I
in a
think we have a
speakerphone.
special secret guest here at Radio Fox. We're calling the man, the legend, the king of the knack-knack. You've seen him riding the red bikes. It's little Jeremy McGrath.
Good evening, residents in by Marriott.
Yeah, hey, I need Jeremy McGrath's room, please. Last name's McGrath.
One moment, I'll connect you.
How cool is this?
Oh
They're,
my
like
God.
not cell phones, not back phones.
No.
You're calling the hotel.
Calling the hotel, and you got to know where he's at. It's not like you text him and go, "Hey, Jeremy, what room you staying in, bud?"
Hello?
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 Hello, Jeremy?
That might be me.
Jeremy, how's it going?
What's up?
Hey, it's me. I'm here with the boys in Tennessee. What are you doing?
Nothing, just watching a little TV, getting ready to go to a dealer show.
Yeah? You gonna sign about 3,000
How
million
cool is this?
autographs with them little pens?
This is amazing.
It's
just
those
like-
Sharpies we all know so good.
That's it. I saw you draw kick me on my neck one time. Hey, we're down here in Tennessee at Loretta Lynn's. Jeez, we could use you down here for a little fun and sun. I got Davey Jr. kicking the beasties. Pete Fox on his debut as a Chippendales dancer. You should see that from the waist down.
Yeah?
What's going on?
Not much, just been here for a couple days, because press day was a little bit early yesterday, so I don't know, went riding this morning, not doing much, just waiting around for the race.
Flew in early to Washougal for press day, and then decided to go riding.
That's what everyone was talking about before
Good
press
old
day,
days,
but
man.
actually it's the same as it was.
And how do you feel up there on the 250?
It's pretty good. The roost kind of hurts here.
How cool.
Dude, I mean,
Rocky,
and
it's
Jerry has the greatest 1990s radio voice ever.
Well, what's crazy is I came into the sport about 98.
I don't know.
I'd never heard of him before.
Yeah.
So Brad Gebhardt apparently knows freaking everything. So I started asking him in the Navy. But yeah, apparently Bernardo had like a 3-year stint on ESPN2.
Oh, yeah.
In Moto World and stuff. And he did some pretty eccentric broadcasting.
Dude, that was like every radio or DJ host in the 1990s. Hey, we're coming to you live from Sandoval in California. Like that was
Boston
everybody,
accent.
dude. Yeah, dude. It's
Yeah, I think here in a minute in the tape, him and Jeremy start talking about Boston, and he invites him over for some pasta.
Yeah, it's a pass.
So I think at some point in time, we're gonna have to release all this tape. But man, I'm so hyped. Fox trusted in us to bring back Radio Fox. If you haven't checked out those episodes, not only are there cool interviews with some athletes, but we also did moto highlights from each day. So it was a great way to. It was almost like a nightly recap show from the ranch.
Dude.
If you couldn't make Racer TV, it was like the 30 minutes you needed to watch to see what happens.
For someone like me who obviously can't sit and watch Racer TV all day, which they do a great job, don't get me wrong. Like I want what you guys did, like is highlights, a cool interview, highlights. Like I want to see the day's best action. And obviously Kevin and Weeds together, man, those two are they're gold, dude. So We had Joe on, we had Christian Craig, the new up and comers, Drew Adams. Drew Adams might have been my favorite.
All right.
When they were talking about how long it took him to get his driver's license.
3 times, right?
3 times.
Oh my gosh.
No, I like Drew. Drew is for 15, or Seth Dennis too, man. Seth Dennis is what, 12, 11?
No, he would be like 14, 15.
Seth?
He's in Super Mini.
Oh, maybe he is. Well, we can ask.
Yeah.
We can ask Daniel.
Well, we're going to call Daniel here in a minute, but huge shout out to motorsport.com right now. If you want $20, the first person to type in this code gets it. And
you have to be watching.
You have to be watching, and you have to be first.
If you're listening, you have to go to watch, and then by that time, you might not have seen it.
Yeah. But if you come to any Verb Shred Tour or the Vurb Classic, every single person that comes through the gate gets one of these $20 codes.
It's not 20% off, Wes.
It's $20.
$20.
$20, no questions asked. So if you bring 4 people through the gate, you get 80 bones.
Dude, that's like obviously you want to buy other things with that. Don't be the guy that goes and spends $80 and doesn't put on additional stuff. Man.
I would go in and get like 3 sets of fist gloves and
dude, I'd get a new GoPro.
You would need a new sprocket, I bet. If I had to look at your bike right now, I bet you need new chain sprockets.
Which one?
Any of your bikes.
You
and Weege that don't do any minutes.
Dude.
Anyways, $20 off right now. 61F2714B2F. Go get yourself $20 at motorsport.com. Heck yeah. Should we call in Daniel Blair? Let's talk about the dudes going pro this weekend.
Big names. There's a surprise too. I'm hoping he can tell us who it is. Because I think you know. I know.
Do I know?
I think so. It's one of his guys. May or may not be on a white bike. There.
He better answer. Daniel Blair.
Daniel Blair.
What up?
You hear us loud and clear, buddy.
Yeah, we already live? Are you sneaking up
on me? We are live,
dude.
Daniel.
This is the way this rolls. We got a show producer just like you, Joe in here, producer Wes, producer Chase. We just do it all.
I love it. I didn't know you guys were going to sneak up on me like that. I thought we could have a little pre-talk.
Oh, no, sir.
Ease in. All right.
We come in hot.
We throw you in. I'm trying to record you, though. I'm making sure I'm...
Daniel, I don't know if you know, but I think you are just the second guest on the most consistent broadcast in the industry.
Who beat me?
Weege.
Yep.
John, dang it.
Yep. Another one up.
You know what, though?
Hey, look at this.
I was Stu's first guest on Bubba's World.
Wow.
Shut up.
And I was AC's first guest on his pod, too.
Wow.
You're just
racking
taking the
them
V
off,
cards,
bro.
dude.
Taking V cards.
I'm kind of glad we didn't let them have ours.
Well, good. I just want to let you know that. You do with that what you will, but I just wanted you to know.
Hey, if you turn your screen sideways, and then I can capture you full screen. Can we do that?
See that thing? Oh, dude, yeah, baby.
Yeah.
Let's see that beautiful.
There
mug.
we go. All right. Well, first things first, dude.
Well, it's a big news just dropped before we went on air. Daniel, you guys dropped some big news. Or do you even know what news I'm talking? He doesn't even know what news I'm talking about. Juju, multi-year deal.
What about him?
It just dropped. Did you not get the
PR?
PR?
Am I learning that from you guys?
Yeah, I guess so. Look, breaking news, everybody. Multi-year deal, going pro at BUDDS.
Yeah, I just actually read the press release too, because once I knew I was coming on with you guys, I was like, they're probably going to ask me about this. Let me make sure I got my timing right. So yes, the press release is officially dropped, so I can say what I want to say.
Yeah.
Which is I'm super excited, man. And I just put a little tweet out and an Instagram post too. Like, it's crazy, these stories, man, how it happens, and like how this one happened is so crazy. And here we are. I mean, me and him were joking at Loretta's, like going through our texts from like a year ago. Just, dude, this is a long story that I'm gonna let him tell someday. But man, like, I'm grateful to be a part of it, and he's a great kid, and I'm excited. I can't wait to see what he does. Like, their first one's always so crazy. Like, I can't wait.
Yeah, I feel like Juju was like a kind of a diamond in the rough, like a Shane McElrath or an RJ, or like, I don't remember him being fast on 85s or anything like that, right? Like, it's been like the last year or so.
Yeah, well, I'll go back in time a little bit where I first saw him. and then kind of tie this whole story in together. But I was racing the Futures races back when they were on Sundays, and it was 50s all the way to vets, right? Remember when they did that for a couple of years?
Yeah. Before
and my son was there racing on a 50, and I remember I loved watching, like, obviously Ryder D and Max Bull. Like, I loved watching these kids, but back then this didn't matter to me. It wasn't part of my life, but I just liked it. And I remember watching Juju on an RM85 with like a long swing arm. It may have been the Super Mini class. And he was battling Ryder like hard. I think he even beat him in a couple motos. And I was like, who the heck is that? Like,
wow.
And then someone was like, oh, he's like a jet ski racer. He's like a world champion jet ski racer. And I'm like, well, he's good at this too. But I never thought much about it because honestly, that wasn't my life at that time. I didn't care enough to like pay that much attention. Fast forward a couple of years, and yeah, he's on big bikes. I remember watching him last year at Loretta's and doing what he always does on paper, which is show incredible speed. His lap times have been good for a long time. Like, he's always been really fast. And he was fast last year, and he was good. And like I said, that getting into the fall and into the winter and just how everything happened, obviously, I mean, I can be transparent enough to say that the Daxton Bennett story is tied into all this. You know, that was Dax's spot originally. That was the hope and thought, but everything changed, shifted to where this opportunity popped up for him to move into that spot. And now here we are in August of 23, and he's racing Red Bull KTM full factory. Here we go.
That's
I mean, it's like I said,
insane.
I'll let him tell his own story, but man, this is one you guys need to tap into. There's a lot of layers to this.
And you expected him to come out, or did you know he was going to come out and do what he did in Supercross Futures? Did you anticipate that happening, or did that surprise you?
So I'll be fully honest. I expected him to be flashy indoors because he's very fast, and I knew he was good at it. So I thought we would see flash, and flash to me is like maybe one hot lap, maybe a good section, maybe something. But the flash was so dang big with him that it again, everyone's eyes just kind of locked in and went, "What the heck is going on here?" Now there were some people that already kind of had a relationship kind of in place. I can tell you right now, his relationship with Davey Millsaps has helped a lot of this. Davey obviously has a close relationship with Carlos Rivera, so they were looking at him at Anaheim because they were told to look at this kid. And when he did what he did at Anaheim, not only because on paper it was fast, but the way it looked, it was like, oh, wow, you're right, a diamond in the rough. That's really what he is and what he was. And so we do the deal with him. It all comes together. And now in place is a lot of support for him. Davey's supporting him. KTM's got his back. Me and Nate Ramsey got his back. Like, all of a sudden, everyone around him is really like the complete package that can help him tighten up the bolts. And he did that right away. He won those 2 Futures rounds. He did it so maturely. It was just, he really grew up fast. And so I think the timing of his talent mixed with the support and the belief around him, it all tied in. And it's one of those magic stories that we might look back to 10 years from now and go, yeah, you can't replicate that model. That was just him. I mean, it's very weird how it all happened, but it happened, and couldn't happen to a better kid.
Hey, I got a question. So, and I don't know if you can talk about the other 2 riders of yours that may be going pro this weekend. But Wes and I were talking before you got on, and like, I'm looking at your stable of riders right now, and it's super impressive, man. Like, from Casey to Mark to Juju to like Seth Dennett, like all these kids, right? Like, for me though, for a while, the KTM group did not have great success bringing in,
the transition from
amateur to pro was not great. I think we can all be honest about that, right? So when there was a lot of names that were can't miss kids that aren't even around anymore. Yeah. So when you got this role, like, what was your approach? And like you said, I mean, you found Juju. Like, I don't think anybody had Juju on the radar, right? Like, what are you looking for? Like, is it, obviously there's a lot of factors into it, but like, are you looking at like the parent support, the rider coaching and all that stuff? Like, what do you look for?
Well, let's go back in time first so that it's understandable, and then I can get to that. When I did take the job, I didn't, honestly, I mean, I hadn't looked in the AMA rulebook ever. I barely knew the roster of riders. I knew some because I was there at the Orange Brigade camp. That's how this kind of thing all happened for me, was I was at their camp in the summer. But I didn't know who Luke Bowser really was. I didn't know who his parents were. I didn't know, Seth Dennis and his family very well. So when I got the job, immediately it was like learning who I had and who else was out there, and like, what are the backstories on all these kids? Like, who are all these kids that I've seen on paper just sporadically. And so that was my first responsibility. And then it came to like, you know, in kind of putting together a vision. And the good thing is that the timing is right. Again, there's an alignment between me and Nate Ramsey, who's my boss. He oversees everything I do in amateur racing, but he's also on the factory side. So there's a perfect communication pipeline there for me to know exactly what can happen, when things can happen. So we were on the same page there. And then everybody in the upper management, from John Hines to everybody, were like, hey, let's go win. Let's be aggressive. What do we got to do? So it seems like the whole group is just intent on not like talking about the past and like dwelling on the past, but just kind of like, hey, here's who we are now. Let's go do something with it.
Well, so the pipeline is hot.
So we put the roster together this year to be very competitive, but also the way I look at it is every one of these kids has their own timeline, and those timelines will be realized in the later stages of amateur career, and it could be based on a month different, a year different. It's very loose up there, and I think that's the cool way to do it. Is hey, when they're ready, and when they're not, they can stay back, and that gave us some flexibility in the roster. So, I mean, I'll just tell you right now. Again, this is a little bit of a brag. It's not me bragging. It's us bragging. We've had an insane year, and here's how it went. We won every single big bike title that matters at Freestone. Pro, 250 Pro, Open Pro, 250 B Mod, 450 B Mod, Stock. I mean, we won every single championship, top to bottom, which was great. Then at Futures, we went 1-2 with Cochran and Finnis, 1-2 at Futures. Then at the Combine, that second moto, and we had a rough first moto, had some things happen, Juju's back tire. But at the second moto of the Combine, we went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 because Ryder McNabb he's also part of our program.
Yeah.
We did a deal with him for him to come down and do Freestone and Loretta's. He missed Loretta's because of an injury, so he replaced it with a Combine, and then he was incredible that day too. Yeah. So we went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in that second moto, which was just it was great. And then at Loretta Lynn's again, I mean, we had success in so many areas of the roster. It wasn't as complete as the rest of the year looks. But you're right. We have a really good roster of kids, a great vision, and great support by everybody in the building. I mean, when we got home from Loretta's, I went straight to California, and man, they were like, "We had the TVs on all week. What a showing!" Everyone's just pumped and motivated, and most importantly, aggressive, which is what I like because I want to treat this that way. And they're green light. Like let's do it.
Well, speaking of green light, it seems like you're sending up a few guys this weekend. Can we talk about it?
Yeah, break it.
Well,
break the news. Break the news.
We can talk. How about this? We can talk about one that was just released in the press conference. We can talk about
Juju's going pro.
Juju's going pro.
Yeah, so Juju's going pro, which is awesome. Mark Finnis is going pro. He is turning pro at Budds Creek.
Yeah.
I'm super excited about this one. Now he is on his own. He with our program. He's with the amateur side, so he's on his amateur bike.
Mm-hmm.
But what happened was we looked at the calendar and we said, all right, let's not do the 2 before Loretta's like some guys do. Let's just go to Loretta's, focus on that, and then do the last 2. Use Budds Creek as a chance to learn what pro racing is all about, and then go to his home track at Ironman and try to make some noise. So I'm going this weekend just for Mark. Juju's going to be covered. We'll get to the third guy in a second, but Juju's covered, and Mark needs the support behind him. So I'm going up there just to be with him. I'll be wrapped in red. And just trying to send him off the right way so he can get to that first national with some good guidance. So excited for both of them. And then the third one, I just got to be blunt. You just keep pressing refresh, and we can talk about it when.
Daniel's teasing us. He's teasing.
I mean, what am I supposed to do?
This will probably.
It won't surprise anyone.
The pre-entry list will be out by the time this is out.
Maybe.
When's the pre-entry list come out? Tomorrow?
I was saying, you never know. Could be Saturday morning.
Hey, just
just put 3 and 3 together. It's not hard, people. We were not going to ask Daniel to do this.
3 and 3 times.
What's his
I'm
number?
excited. Hey, I'll just say this. I'm excited.
We are excited.
This weekend for all of my amateur riders who are turning pro.
That's cool.
Hey, real quick, we'll turn to the Verb Classic after this and your other venture. So you got 3 people turning pro, right? All different stages. Like, how do you know, and you can even use your probably past experience, like, how do you know when is the right time to go pro? How do you know? Like, how does the rider know? Is it feel? Is it speed? Is it results?
I think it's different for everybody. And I think what we're seeing is that there's multiple pipelines that actually work. Like Deegan last year, went to the first Futures race. It didn't go very well, but they saw enough in him to say, you know what, we're good. It's fine. Let's go.
Mm-hmm.
Where others, you might go, hey, we're going to need a little bit more time. So I think what's cool about the sport right now is with Futures and Combines and some of the creativeness in the rules, you don't really have to go pro. You can kind of go pro and test it out and feel it out, which, again, some of these kids are doing it right before the Nationals. Daxton Bennett did that. You know, and even for Mark Finnis, like we had that decision to make. Do you want to do it before or after Loretta's? We decided after. So the cool thing is that everyone has their own timeline, and it really, there's freedom in the schedule.
Yeah.
And that's what I really like about the sport right now. It's not like, well, I think he's ready. Let's go. It's like, no, we can be creative. Let's wait a month. Let's wait a month.
Yeah.
Or let's wait 3 months. Like I really like the way Honda did the Hymas deal this year. I like the way we're doing things. So I feel like everybody's getting pretty smart on using the calendar for the advantage of the rider.
Yeah, like you said, everybody's getting unique. It's to me, it's been interesting to watch. Like you said, the Hymas deal, he came and raced a couple Supercrosses, right? Like, got ready for outdoors. You know, it's to me, before it was like, well, you turn pro right after Loretta's and off you go, right? Like, you have no idea.
At least you can anticipate and expect and know what's going to happen. But yeah, everybody has their own strategies now.
Yeah,
which is
I
really
love
cool.
it, dude. I think it's interesting. It's not quite college football, but like it does give you that.
Yeah.
Like, you know, if you're ready or not, you know.
It's really, really cool on that. And I can even say from our brands, because we do have the 3 brands, we do have the 3 pro race teams. And we also, again, my team goes down the list of bike sizes. You can even be creative with your program based on calendars. I can tell you right now, I can't say who, but I signed a kid this morning.
Oh,
refresh. No, that was going to take a while.
Okay, that was going to take a while.
Yeah, but we signed someone today that, again, part of the design with this one is looking at the calendar, looking at the bike sizes, and figuring out the timeline that works for him. And I don't really believe the year. I don't believe that Mini-O's is the last race. I mean, I can tell you right now, we'll be having a kid debut at the Combine in Ironman who was not at Loretta Lynn's because he outgrew his bike size.
Wow.
So I don't look at any race as that's the end or the beginning. Every kid's calendar is that kid's calendar, and you do what's best for the kid. And when they're ready, you turn them in, and then you still got to hope, man. I mean, the pros.
Oh yeah,
crazy,
I mean, it's
dude. So
nothing's a slam dunk, right? Like I've seen a much different approach. Like, to me, putting smart people like yourself in positions, like you're not just throwing shit at the wall. Like, you have a strategy, right? With each kid's different. Like, and it's interesting to see all the teams do it, you know, like every team's different. Like you said, I mean, Honda doesn't really have much amateur sport, but they just grab the guy, you know, the Chance or the Jet and Hunter or whatever, right? Like
I am curious though. You're talking about everybody has their own schedule and way of doing this. Does the results over the next 2 weekends affect what will happen next year with Supercross, or do you just say, hey, now that you're pro, you're pro?
No, zero. Again, I can tell you right now, creatively, I'm working on Mark Finnis's program for next year on what's best for him.
So he could be back amateur, or are you saying or Supercross?
100%.
Okay,
100%. I'm not sure what we're going to do with him yet, because I'm a big believer in Mark, and that kid. God, he gives it his all, man. And anyone that gives me their all, I'm giving them my all.
Hard on sleeve, bro.
You know what I love about this answer is I feel like there's so many kids that have been 16 that had they waited another year and gained more confidence, I feel like really could have gone somewhere in the sport. And instead, you know, whether it was them, their parents, or team managers, push them up way too early and way too fast. And the second you turn pro and you get qualified 25th, and then you get 20th, you go from a kid that was supposed to be in the top 5, top 10 when they did that, you know, and you're 16, you don't belong there. And like your confidence goes away in a flash. And I think it's impossible to get back.
Yeah, I agree with you. I believe that everything happens in steps, and sometimes really talented kids skip steps because they're just so talented. And that's why, again, I think you got to go through every step. And no kid's timeline's the same. I just posted it this week on my Instagram. You know, Levi Kitchen won the first moto at Unadilla. He never finished better than 8 on a mini bike at Loretta. It all came later.
Pretty crazy.
Yeah.
And then Moto 2, Justin Cooper was your winner.
Yep.
7th was the best finish he ever had on a mini bike. These guys took a while to get going, but once they grew up and matured and filled out, look at who they are right now. I mean, those are two of the best guys we have in the 250 class. Justin Cooper won the Motocross of Nations last year as part of Team USA. Like, these kids didn't succeed on mini bikes. They came later. So that's why, again, I love the sport right now. There's so much talent, but you got to identify certain traits that are going to matter in the pros, and then you just really got to play the calendar right. That is the most important thing for me.
Damn, that's cool. I
God
love
dang,
it.
man. That's a great answer, dude.
All right, well, I feel like we could talk about another hour on that, but let's switch gears. We're business partners, Daniel. If I'm pretty sure you know that by now. You
big business partners.
You're not only the KTM group amateur team manager, you also hold part of the keys to NxtLvl101, where we do the Vurb Classic. So this September 15th through 17th, we're coming to South Carolina.
Yeah.
And you're going to be there. And man, I want to hear how that's going.
We just saw, Daniel, you can't see it. There's this massive jump. You just saw it Next Level. That's Logan Best right there. But the big thing I've heard is there might be some big track changes coming.
Yeah. When I say big, or when we say big, it's not big as in like a total makeover. It's maneuvering creatively the land a little bit to get the best out of the racetrack. The place is phenomenal. Like, when I showed up there, like, I was like, what the heck? It's so awesome. And the racetrack that we run for the Vurb is just, it's the bigger track of the two that we have. But there's just some things in this one area that we want to open up and change to make the racing a little bit better in areas where I know it kind of single files up. So it's the big changes are just big, I think, race changes that are going to allow the track to develop more for racing. And the cool thing is with Eddie Ray, Jessica Patterson, they're so cool and they're so core about racing. They just want it to be sick, and they're just like, let's make it rad. There's no motive other than just putting on cool stuff. So it aligns with me. It obviously aligns with you guys. And the big challenge right now is I'm trying to stack the competition, and it's cool because I have Luke Fowler. He's one of my riders. He's going to be racing it. Landon Gibson's going to be racing it. And again, talking about the sport as a whole, I'm literally having conversations with Dan Truman, who is helping Drew Adams, and we're trying to coordinate to get our guys to race more. Like, where do you want to go? Where are you going? So I'm trying to get Drew to come to this because I want Luke and Landon to have to race him. Like, we don't want to dodge the best. Drew's awesome. Like, let's get these boys together and sharpen them up. That way they all are good when they're in the pros. I think we all benefit.
You got to, man. I think that's one thing that is missing.
So that's the cool thing is that even Truman, talking to Drew and talking to Ryan Holiday at Cowie, I think everyone's on the same page. Like, let's make these kids sick. Let's get them together and make them race more than 2 or 3 times a year. Let's race them as many times as we can, put them on the gate together.
Well, another great, unique thing about Verb Classic is that we're there. And the biggest thing that we pride ourselves on is media coverage. So, like, there are a lot of other races throughout the year, whether they be featured events, major events. Obviously, the major events get a ton of coverage regardless. But there's a lot of feature events that go underneath the radar, and you don't really know what happens. Even regionals and area qualifiers, you don't really know. But with Verb Classic, I can promise you this: people gonna know. People gonna know. So we have quite a content plan that we're gonna be rolling out for this year, and making sure that every kid that shows up gets what they hope, making their name. I always dreamed of making my name in cycle news. Every time it happened, man, it was like a dream come true. So like we still try to harness that memory. I want every kid to feel very special when they come to our event, whether, they make a photo on the site, on the Instagram, hired gun, results, whatever. Yeah. We want to make sure every kid feels the love.
It's awesome. It's awesome. No, and I think that's why this pairing is working so good in past years. And I think we're going to obviously be able to grow it is, I'm so invested in amateur racing now. Like it's become the number one priority in my life. So I want it to grow and be successful, mixed with, like I said, Eddie and Jess, who are just, this place is incredible. The track and their influence on everything. And then with you guys on the marketing side, I think it's a great chance to put on a good race. And like I said, get good kids together to battle it out and then get the promo that they all deserve and that they all want, obviously. So I can't wait, dude. It's like, I wish it was closer, even though I bet you guys wish we had a little more time.
No. we got Washougal before that.
We got Washougal and then that, yep.
And then Imagination.
Okay. All right, well, and what they just released this past week, there's a 65cc championship at Charlotte. Daniel, what is it going to take to make that entire contingent just hang out around Charlotte and Greenville for that whole
2
week?
hours.
And just come to Next Level 101 that next weekend. Let's have the second stop of the Premier 65cc Championship, right?
It should be. It should be round 2 of it, right? We'll just say this is round 2. You guys all have to go.
Unofficial round 2.
I mean,
that's right.
What if it's free classes?
I will say this, though. It is cool that they're doing that at the SMX playoffs with 65s, super minis, futures, and then, of course, the E5s, the electric bikes are going to run the KTM Juniors at the LA Coliseum, too.
That's cool.
And they actually took the results from Loretta's. They said, hey, top 15. I announced it at opening ceremonies. I said, hey, top 15 in the E-class, you're going to LA Coliseum to race the SMX finals. And they're like, what?
Yes.
So, yeah. So, like I said, there's a lot of cool stuff. I feel like the sport, you guys tell me if you feel the same. Sport's cool right now. It's super competitive. It's deep everywhere from 450 to 250 to amateur. Everyone's into it. The media companies are all pumping. I just feel like the sport's rad.
I will say this, just going back to what you said a minute ago, if we can figure out how to get the top guys to do more epic local racing, I think that brings the vibes of the early 2000s back, because everybody used to race everywhere every weekend, and I feel like the training facilities have definitely changed how that works. So I'm not saying you need to go race every single thing, but like Drew Adams going and racing a local Georgia race helps those races. It brings more people in and helps support local promoters, local racing, local sponsors, and everything in between. So like when the top contingent drops out of racing the local stuff, it hurts everybody. So I'm a huge advocate for trying to push these guys to go race more. So that's the only thing I want to change.
Yeah.
Well, you know what it does too, though? Even more than that is I think it influences or it's a pretty heavy influence on all the kids below that rider. Like you said, if Drew goes to a race in Georgia, or when Luke Fowler goes to a race in Ohio and Pennsylvania, all those kids, like, look, they all want to be Jet Lawrence and Chase Sexton and Eli Tomac, but that doesn't seem as real yet because they're so far away. Luke is the influence for a lot of these kids growing up. Tiger Woods, these are the influences for the 50, 60, 85 because they want to be like them.
Yeah.
So when they race these types of things, it's so much more like understandable because they're right there and they're pitting out of their van like you. It seems more authentic, I think, to the younger kids.
Yep.
And it's an easier goal to chase is to try to be like them. And then it's almost like the goal is to be like Luke Fowler. The dream is to be like Jet Lawrence because that's further away.
Sure.
You know what I mean? We need these kids racing more because I think it influences the bottom so much more.
100%.
Perfect example. I have like PJ Larson was the only kid in South Carolina that was going pro. Like, but he would go to local races and like, dude,
head turners.
I used to love going to watch PJ, and it was like
you would go because PJ was going. I went
because PJ was going, and then PJ turned pro, and like, dude, I followed PJ's career, and like him and I eventually became friends because I was working at Racer X, blah blah blah. But like, I followed PJ's career because he was from South Carolina.
Yeah,
100%.
Right.
100%.
Right.
So it's
awesome. No, we need more of it. We need more. And I think it's trending that way. It's trending that way.
Starting with the Verb Classic.
Starting with the Verb Classic, September 15th through 17th.
Daniel will be helping us pick out the hired gun over the next month. We'll be doing all kinds of releases coming up, and I have a feeling he's going to be trying to vie to get all his dudes in the hired gun spots. We're probably going to have to tell Daniel, hey, dude, you got to back it down. We got to make some blue bikes.
Maybe we get a Main Event Moto hired gun. Can we get Joe out there? Can we get Joe out? I just want to see Joe, man. Come on.
Producer Joe's not even real. He's an AI bot.
He's an AI bot.
You were on top of it before anybody knew about it.
Right.
We were testing for Elon. So,
well, hey, drop.
No, I will tell you this though. If you create a plus 40 class 2-lap motos,
I mean,
I'll sign up and race.
Me versus Wes.
Can it be 37 plus?
Can it be 37 plus? Me, you, Wes, Brent on electric Surons.
Well, why don't we just do the Suron class?
Yeah, we'll get Daniel a Suron.
Yeah, dude.
No, I have a KTM 250 in my garage. I got my bike.
Okay.
I have a YZ 125.
All right. I'll ride a Suron.
I feel like the Suron. Yeah, who cares?
I'll get.
I mean,
it's not like I'm going to get.
Daniel's going to smoke me. I'm going to smoke Brand. Whatever. You and Brent can battle out in the back of the pack of the 37 plus class. That would be great. So. Anyways,
37 plus.
Well, hell yeah, dude. Looking forward to it. Thanks for being on. And
second guest ever.
I'm looking forward to seeing who else is turning pro this weekend.
Everybody refresh. Maybe check out Main Event Moto on what's the Patreon, Daniel? Drop your stuff.
Hey, no. Here's the thing though, because this is I have to tell you guys this so that everyone this is clear. I have to draw such a hard line in so many ways, especially like the class you're doing TV and my job. That was hard. But Main Event Moto, we don't break news. We talk about news that is already broke. So that's just my motto, because I don't want to be that guy.
No, you can't.
That's
you
us
can't.
too, dude. I could care less about breaking news. That's not us. Everybody else does that
We're
good
just
enough.
messing with you.
So if you want to listen to Main Event Moto, listen because you enjoy us talking. But if you're looking for breaking news, we don't do that because that's just not our model.
Racer X and Vital do that really good.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm cool with that too. We always say that.
Check out Daniel on Patreon. It's a great show. I enjoy it.
Daniel's way more of a journalist than us.
Oh, way more.
We always say we're not
capital J.
We're not your capital J. We're very much
we're lowercase like
J, journalist
K
spelled wrong.
Journalist.
Love it.
Well, hell yeah, dude. We'll see you here in a month, bro.
Yeah.
Next Level 101 Vurb Classic.
Can't wait. I'll see you guys soon.
Later, man.
See ya.
Well, heck yeah, Daniel
Dude,
Blair.
I will say, I know it's only our second interview. Sorry, Weege. That was the best one. That was great. Like, I love hearing Daniel's insight into amateur racing. It's, to me, it's I don't know, not necessarily it's been done wrong in the past. Like Cole Gress built a powerhouse at Suzuki. Like, people have done it right. But I think Daniel has a good approach to his athletes and how he brings them along.
I'm still trying to figure out how to stop my screen record, Chase.
Okay.
But yeah, so you're right. He does. I'm glad he moved into the position that he did, because man, it's going to make the sport better.
I mean, I hate losing him from Race Day Live, like and the Supercross, because I do think he brought an element there that was really good too. But to me, like, if you have people like Daniel in those positions, like, the future of the sport's going to be in pretty good hands. Like, I like it. You know what I mean? Like, I've always respected Daniel from like everything he's done. I think he does it in a great professional way. And like, I think this is like, hearing that insight was like, amazing. That's pretty sweet. Dude. Like, I like it.
I love talking about amateurs and how it works. Like,
yeah, it's interesting, man. And like,
really cool.
Like you said, like, I know like it is a hot topic of like, should these kids be able to race pro moto and whatnot? Like, whatever. I'm not getting into that, but like Daniel said, you figure out a way to, like, to me, and they should just race the scouting compound. They shouldn't race pro moto, but whatever.
Agreed.
I mean, it's here nor there. That's the rules, whatever.
Yeah, it is. I agree with that. I don't like the jumping back and forth.
I don't.
I think once you're pro, you're pro. But I do like it for the fact that, hey, Mark Phineas can go get his feet wet, and if he decides to go back to Freestone next year, he goes back to Freestone and gets another year of confidence. Because like I said to him, I hate seeing a kid make the jump.
Oh, right.
And then getting his confidence busted, and he's never able to recover. So at least with this model, I'm a fan of it because they can jump back down.
Yeah.
Just like Dax, you know, he won Loretta's, but what? The pro races that he did, 10th, 15th area.
Yeah, which is normal.
Which is normal, but for a kid that's used to winning,
sure,
it's a hard slap in the face, I think. So, like, I don't know. It gives you a chance to go back and be like, okay, I belong here.
But it's good, though. Like, I feel like Daniel said, these kids aren't racing enough. They're not used to losing.
Right.
They have to get used to losing.
Yeah.
Guess what Jet Lawrence got when he turned pro? 13th.
How crazy is that?
I
love the fact that they posted that walking in Gina Dillon clip the other day.
Look
that was cool.
Look at what Deegan got, dude. Like, Deegan didn't kill it last year. He was good.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's like, man, you have these kids, and I don't know. Like, I want to get to this Deegan video that we're going to bring up, but like, to me, these kids have to get used to losing. You're not gonna be Jet. You're not going to win. You're not going to have a perfect season. Like,
well, so this Deegan video, I don't know that I haven't hit up TC Films yet to see if we can use it, but
if not, just go to TC Films.
You've watched it
on his Instagram. You've seen it.
What's your opinion?
I love it.
Yeah, I do too.
I dude, that if I just lost the championship in that fashion, that would have been me. That's passion.
I probably would have burned the bike.
Dude, that's passion. That means he effing cares, dude.
Yeah.
Like, don't give me this shit of like, man, he acted like a child.
It's a bad look. I'm like, yeah, are you kidding
What
me?
bad look? Have you watched any other sport?
Like, a rookie championship just got thrown down the drain, and how much money?
I don't even. I mean, you know him. He's not caring.
It's probably not. It's not about the money. But
dude, it's
part of it.
Sure, but in that moment, like, dude, of course you're fired up. Like, to me, what would be a bad look is if he went on to his Instagram after and said, F Yamaha, F this bike.
You're
F
in the
this.
moment and it happened.
That would be a bad look. What he did, like, does no one else watch any other sports? Have you not watched football where these dudes are throwing their helmets and cussing each other out and cussing out their coaches? And it's sports, it's passion, it happens. Like, I don't get it. I think it's whatever. I'm not usually a hot take person. That's a dumbass take.
I agree.
Dumbass.
That's all we got to say about it. Deegan, you keep doing you, man.
Deegan,
That's
bro.
sick. I like emotion. I will even say this year at Loretta's, what I loved, I saw a lot of first-time faces on the podium, whether it was moto wins or championships. And shout out Jaden Cooper. It might have been the coolest one. We posted a few clips of him. But there, and that was the second moto. It was the third round of moto, second moto, 450B, right? And I saw his dad, and they're all up there crying and stuff. And I remember in 2005, it was the first time I ever captured a moment like this. It was when Ryan Dungey won the 125 class, and he was so ecstatic and threw up the number one plate. Everybody's seen my shot from this a million times over everything, but like that will always be ingrained in my mind because he was so stoked. His parents were so stoked, and like that raw emotion gave me chills that day. And I walked up and told Jaden and his dad afterwards, I'm like, that is why I still do this. I'm here to capture that moment. If that's the only moment I walk away from Loretta Lynn's with, I'm happy. And then the skies came in, it downpoured. I got Mike Brown walking off the track, Ben Riddle throwing down his helmet. I got a lot more emotional moments after that.
Sure.
But either way, happy, sad, like that's what I live for. Like documenting the history of the sport, man. Oh, there's nothing better for a camera guy to get those moments.
That is the sport, dude. Like, I get mad if you and I went and raced Surons tomorrow and you beat me. I'll probably throw my fucking helmet. Like, I'm pissed. So I can't imagine these dudes with a championship on the line. Like, you've put in so much time and effort, like,
and money,
and what you're just supposed to sit there and go, gosh darn, gosh
darn it, man.
Hot dang.
My bike blew up. I've only been training since January. No big deal.
I've only been trying to do this my entire life. Gosh darn it.
Gosh darn it, man.
So dumb. Anyways.
Well, hey, let's throw another sponsor plug in here. GoPro Grom Quest.
Yes. I feel like what is about to come up is massive payback for that shit you posted the other day.
Why?
The other week.
That was good.
Your kid paid for your bullshit.
So listen, shout out to GoPro Max. I used this for the second time the other day, and it's unreal. The capturing 360 and 5.3K, crazy. Anyways, GoPro Max is not the sponsor of this, but GoPro Grom Quest is. If you want to become the next GoPro Grom sponsored kid, maybe a free GoPro, they're giving away
all kind of
money.
prizes.
You could become the GoPro factory kid if you submit a good enough video. Check out GoPro.com/GromQuest. It doesn't matter what you shoot it on. Send it in, and if they like it, they're going to post it, and they're going to send you that money.
Got to be under 18.
Okay. Got to be under 18.
The rider does.
Your parents probably have to check a box or two.
I'm sure
whatever.
there's all kind of
Either
legal
way,
shit.
Here is my GoPro Grom Quest submission of my son Brixton. Give me that money right now.
That was a big one, dude. That
was his first big crash.
I've seen him crash a little bit. That was a side swiper, bro.
Yeah.
And it was just him and Aubrey, right? You weren't there.
Yeah, I wasn't there. I was at Loretta's.
Oh, wow.
I got that on Tuesday at Loretta's.
Mom of the year.
And so I was like, hey, did he keep crying? And she like, no, he got up and he wanted to go down the hill again.
That's what's up, Briggs.
And again. So shout out to even Stasik down here. He calls this one the small big bike.
Small big bike?
We have the Suron and Talaria.
Big bike.
He calls it the big bike, or he calls that dad's bike now.
Oh, okay. What's the big bike? Small big bike.
Small big bike is this one.
What's the Gringer?
The Gringer. He doesn't have a specific name for the Gringer yet. I think he just calls it. He calls that one big bike. He calls the Suron dad's bike.
Okay.
And then he calls his little Strider Brickham bike. Brickham bike. So all day long, my kid does nothing but put on a damn helmet, talk about bikes, ride the damn bikes. This morning, we went out for an hour-long bike ride.
An hour.
Come back, and what does he want to do? He wants to go on the Suron with Dad, and then we get back. Brickham bike? And then I swear, I get him off. He jets over to his bike, and he's in the cul-de-sac before I can stop him. If I try to stop him, he sprints, dude.
Dude,
it's awesome.
It was when we went on that trip that you slandered my name. Dude, we went 30 something miles?
Loved it.
And dude, he's done. Like, he gets off the bike and he's like wobbly. He's like drunk from riding bikes. We get back here and he's like, big bike, big bike. Big bike, daddy. Big bike, daddy.
It's so badass.
It's awesome.
Anyways, GoPro, he's looking for his first sponsorship. I'll gladly
Justin, just throwing it out there.
You to completely factory sponsor him. I'm cool with it. Maybe like a helmet, some graphics on the bike, and money. Whatever you want to do, we're open for it. I will exploit the shit out of him.
Yes. I will too. If I get paid because I mean, look, I will take his piggy bank, bro.
You're the trainer.
Yeah, I'm the trainer. Yeah. So, anyways,
course heavies.
I know we talked about the classic, but we also got Washougal.
We got Washougal coming up. Vurbapalooza.
Fingers crossed we get no weather. We have tried this for like 6 years.
Do you know what palooza means at the end of any verb thing?
No, it's probably a party.
It's going to be a good time.
Well, if anybody knows what palooza, though, is. Remember Lollapalooza? Great stuff.
We're going to have a good time is all we're saying. It's
September 1st.
It's Labor Day weekend.
Oh, dude.
Washougal MX Park. It's like our post-Loretta celebration.
Yep. Dude, we're
going to be having a good time. You're going to be having a good time. Everybody that comes to the gate gets $20 Motorsport
$20. Fist hot dogs.
Fist hot dogs, free hot dogs. We're going to cook them on Thursday now. Yeah. So when we're
going to cook Thursday and Saturday.
Oh, just hot
double dog day, dude. Double dog.
That's what happens on Labor Day.
Brixton will be there showing off his big bike.
We talked about getting a couple kegs of Coors.
Yeah, a couple kegs. We'll probably all be wearing flannels.
And in the race order, we will have Sur-Ron / E-Moto class. I keep saying Sur-Ron. We have amped bikes, E-Motos, which are Sur-Rons. Talarias. I don't know that you know what? I was going to say no cakes, but whatever. If you bring an electric bike, show up and line it up.
Bring it up.
Another thing I'm adamant about. I want the trail bike class, dude.
Oh, yeah. We got to have the trail bike
TTR 125s up to KLX 140s. I don't care.
I feel like those are huge.
I want to race that on Washougal, and I'm gonna.
I feel like those are huge in that area, right?
There's got to be. I have no idea, but it's going to become a staple of Verb events because
you have to wear a flannel.
That's what I want to ride. Like, I don't want to go out there and ride 250B or 250A, Chase. Not even 37 plus.
I mean, usually it's, what am I, Open Pro Sport usually?
Yeah. I mean, we can't race that stuff anymore there. Dude, we're there to work, bro. We're there to work. I can't be that sore on Monday.
I can't be racing Open Pro Sport again.
Anyways, Washougal. That's going to be a good time. Straight into the Verb Classic. We're going to be a worn
straight into Imagination.
Group of folks.
Which they announced today. I don't know if you saw the press release. Imagination is back.
Sweet, I didn't know that.
We did not know that. No, but the casual fan may not know.
A lot of very cool changes coming down the pipe.
Very big changes. I don't know if they announced those yet, so we might need to.
I think that's a whole nother podcast in itself.
Well, maybe next week.
Hey, we'll have Tyler Behrman on to talk about it.
Dude, what TB should be our third guest? 100%.
I'm in with that.
Jason Baker, maybe?
You know, normally when you like a new CD comes out, I don't CD albums still come out. Albums just on Spotify, still come out. But the third song is normally the best.
I bet, dude, I will say TB.
That's normally the single.
I know TB is a massive listener. He listens to every episode.
Every single one. He texts me every time. Like, dude, great job.
Great job, guys. Love you guys. You guys are awesome. It's going to be hard to follow Daniel.
Yeah.
I mean, we sucked. If you really want to go back and listen to that one, he was awful.
Yeah.
So good job, Daniel.
It is what it is. Appreciate Daniel for bringing us up. One last thing I want to get into, dude. BUDDS Creek's coming.
We have more.
But let's backtrack to 2007 BUDDS. I posted freaking JS7 versus RC4 Tuesday yesterday, and bro, I'm just in love,
dude. I know everybody loves to be like, oh, everybody's on Stu's nut. Go back and watch those things.
Yeah.
You wonder why everybody's on Stu and RC's nut. And it's funny. Oh, there's Stu right there.
Hi, Stu. Oh, that's JS7 Outsider, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
So.
Straight rhythm. We're straight rhythm.
Yeah. So anyway, look, but like I was telling you, dude, when was this 30? What is it now? 20 years ago? 25 years?
For what?
What year did you post over there?
Yes. 2007.
Okay, so.
Do the math. 16.
16. Have we had anything as good as that since?
Racing wise, battling.
Two dudes really wanting to kill each other.
I don't know. 250 class, I feel.
No. 450 Premier class. Two
that
dudes
gnarly every weekend
that hated each other, wanted to rip each other's throats out, and were just fast as that would be like Jet having another Jet.
I mean, we might see Jet and Hunter. next
I
year.
mean, honestly, I think we'll see Chase too. Like
Chase will be in there. I'm
Chase,
excited to see the KTM.
Yeah,
Cooper Webb back on the Yamaha. Eli
yeah.
Tomac.
I mean, Tomac. Like
Supercross is going to be knocked down, drag out next year.
it is, but like I don't remember a time outdoors in the last 16 years that we've had two dudes that fast, that competitive every week.
Yeah. I don't know. All right. Well, one question someone posed on Twitter. Actually, I did because I was like, RT, if you want a time machine.
I think I saw this.
I just meant to go back to that moment and watch.
Yeah.
People started replying like, if I had a time machine, I would go back to this specific Stu moment to change something.
Oh.
I'm curious.
When he was leading Anaheim 1, I think it was.
You would go back and change this moment for him. You tell him what did make different.
Yeah. So I think was he Suzuki?
He's going through 2016.
He's going through the whoops. James is back. James is back. He's going to win a damn championship. Yep. I remember this exact moment. We're at a watch party. I was living in Morgantown working at Racer X. I think we were at Gloops. We were at a watch party and we're like, dude, we're all hammered. I mean, it's midnight and it's like, dude, Stu's back. Stu's back. Yeah. Ah, God dang it.
So you would go tell him not to cut down in that first corner before the finish.
I would tell him. No. This is when he went down in the whoops. You're talking about the Dungy thing.
I'm talking about the Dungy thing.
No. I'm talking about when he was leading Anaheim 1 and he went down in the whoops.
Was that not Anaheim 1?
No, the cut down?
Yeah.
No, I don't think it might have been.
Was it
but
the same year, 16?
It was a different year.
Oh.
No, I'm talking about when the whoops, dude. It's the most epic crash. Like everybody replays it all the time. He's coming through the whoops and he just gets all swapped.
Okay.
And then I think Roxon won on a KTM.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I think it was 15 maybe. I don't know.
I'm not good with that moto history. I remember everything from like 05 to 09. Like,
I remember moments.
I think I drank a lot of beers in between those next years.
I don't remember years.
Anyways, Colin Brotocross right now or Brad Gebhardt.
Everybody knows what Stu clip I'm talking about.
If I could go back and change one, it's probably Thunder Valley 2012 and tell him not to crash. I don't know that's photographer's fault, but I would tell James.
I don't care. That's like,
yes, you're right. I would make sure.
What is that guy doing?
I'd get him off the track. We were filming JS7 Outsider that year, and it threw a huge wrench in our plans. We still finished the series, but it would have been a lot cooler of a series had James just continued to go undefeated.
Dude, I honestly, like, wasn't nobody touching him that year, dude.
It would have been crazy. So
nobody was
touching him.
He was
4 for 4.
He was on his way for 5-0.
Yeah.
And I don't even know who the photographer is. Don't go look him up. We don't need that, but
I don't think anybody ever figured out who it was. You do, all right. Well,
I was working at Racer X at the time. They figured out who it was.
We won't get his house burned down. People will still probably a bit envious about that. So,
oh God, dude, the Stu fans.
Speaking of BUDDS, coming up this weekend, do we see any kinks in the wrenches here?
No. Jet finishes
it out 2022.
Hunter does what Hunter does.
Hunter's gonna win now, no doubt. So first,
whoa, they're not. No, he's not.
It's 20. He's almost a moto up
on Cooper, but I mean, dude, we saw having a Deegan's bike. We saw having his Jet's bike. There's 4 motos left.
And it's happened to Hunter's bike.
It's happened to Hunter's bike. It happened, a couple motos ago. Like I'm not giving him the thing. I just think Hunter to me is what's been impressive with him all year is
calculation.
Dude, he's so fucking calculated, dude. It's 2-2. 1-2, 1-3. I'll take whatever I can get.
He knows what he has to do now.
He knows what he has to do. Like, he's not going to go out there and kill himself to win. He'll go and get 4th. He doesn't care.
So if he wins, Jet won. They both won Supercross. Chase won Supercross. That means Honda will sweep all the titles this year outside of Super Motocross. Who knows what happens? But
oh, wow.
So my question now is, does Honda go bankrupt like Suzuki did?
Yeah, I think so.
Like
Honda's just out of fucking money.
Like how many millions of dollars is that in just bonuses alone? Not to mention what those dudes' base salaries is.
I bet there are some people in Japan right now going, "How the hell did this happen?"
Well, Lloyd's, are you around,
guys?
Lloyd's.
Nah, I mean, luckily,
what was our insurance policy on this?
Luckily, I do. I think we're going to get into this. Brett Smith just dropped an interesting piece on Carmichael those years. I haven't read it yet, but maybe we'll have Brett on and talk about it. But
when Carmichael bankrupted Suzuki, making $391,000 per month in base salary.
So wait, they're paying out 5 championship bonuses, which is around $1 million. I mean, each.
Yep. Well, not for the 250s.
No, but it's 500,000. It's 500,000.
I guarantee Jet and Hunter probably had an escalated clause.
Sure, yeah. Let's just round it up. They're all that's $5 million.
Yep.
It's not in terms of their contract or race bonus.
Yeah, let's just say $5 million.
I guarantee this season's probably costing them $25 million.
It's like, how bad did we want to win again?
Did we really want to win? The curse of what? I mean, we can go back to the curse. Mr. Honda's like, shit.
I mean, obviously one title to go, but man, if they pull that off, epic job, Honda. Way to turn that around. Talk
Lars,
about, Lars, just like the Daniel Blair thing we're just talking about, it shows what having the right dude in the right place can do for a team.
I think that team went from the most buttoned down corporate, not necessarily stuck up, but like just very proper Honda, right? To probably one of the coolest teams in the pits.
100%.
And look what it's done.
Yeah.
You can't say it hasn't
chilling
changed.
out. They have Coors Lights after every race.
Oh, yeah.
They invite us to have them with them. The camera.
Oh, yeah. We went to the party.
The camera crew's like part of the family there.
Oh, it's awesome, man.
So, yeah.
Great job, Lars and Christian. And
I haven't been to one outdoor, but I'm going to consider I went to a lot of Supercross, so I'm going to consider myself part of this winning formula, and I thank you guys for letting me be part of it. And you guys, I'll accept my bonus check.
Yeah, I mean, we'll take pizza. Like, we'll take pizza on the broadcast.
Pizza and bonus checks, dude. Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah.
All right, Chase.
So I think it's a great episode, man. Great episode. Best one yet.
Really?
Best one, yeah.
I feel like you tell me that every time.
They're all the best ones. I think having Daniel up the notch show a ton.
Can I tell you something? It's how many days after Loretta's? It's Wednesday. So we've been back. I've been back.
2 weeks?
We got back Monday 2 a.m. Sunday night. So it's been a week, but we went on another shoot immediately. I got back on Saturday. I'm still damn sore. I got thrown out of a mule on last night. And like at some point in time, I'm like, do I need to go see the doctor? So shout out Wade. You're the best driver I've ever heard of.
Yeah, good job, Wade. You're awesome, Wade. Hey, finally, a big shout out to end this. Thank you, Amanda, Wade's wife, for letting us use her trailer. It's not a trailer. It's fifth wheel for all of Loretta's. Thank you, Amanda. Not Wade's fifth wheel, his wife's fifth wheel.
And it's an amazing fifth wheel.
It's amazing fifth wheel.
So much, Amanda.
XWMX racer. Some people might know her. Amanda Brown.
Amanda Brown.
Race WMX.
And Wade's son, Jet.
Oh, he's
coming up on his 2-year birthday.
Oh, he's a cute,
I think it's Budds Creek birthday. I'm pretty sure.
Bub's Creek birthday.
Happy birthday, buddy.
All right. Thanks again, Amanda.
She starts to take off her clothes. Her lips are begging. He thought she